Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it is Monday, and we're fresh, and we are back. More rumours, gossip about the managerial position at Manchester United. Poch apparently has been interviewed. Welcome to the agenda. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it's a brand new week. No football last week, guys. As always, we've got Rebel, Mr. B, and Monday. Welcome back. Guys, the good news is we didn't lose dropping the points this week or last week at the moment. So how are we all doing after a, shaky start to the week so far, guys? We've got Leicester. Is it Leicester City we've got in the weekend? But before
5:30 Saturday.
5:30 Saturday, guys. Must win game. But apart from that, guys, how are we actually all feeling today? How are we doing?
Good man. Apart from the fact that somebody nicked the windscreen wipers off my van today.
What?
Oh, it wasn't in Ealing O'Hara, was it?
No, Oxford Street. I don't understand. I did a delivery. I was gone for 5 minutes. I come back, and they've taken the windscreen wipers off my van. So
You didn't see Chris Rock there, did you?
He might have been windscreen wipers out here. Don't mention their name.
Yeah.
They're selling it. They're selling those crackheads. Are selling my windscreen wipers. Apart from that, it's all good, man. Ready for a new week, man. Ready for a new week on the agenda.
Yeah. So you didn't see Will Smith trying to slap him over the head with it there or anything like that, did you?
Listen, somebody took it for a reason, and it may well have been old Willie Boy.
Oh, brilliant. How is Omondi doing today? You ain't had nothing taken off you today, have you?
Hell no. Nah. I'm just just keeping up with the news. You know, when there's no football on, you just get bored. You read up all the gossip pages. I've gone over and over it, and nothing changes. I mean, it's just people just repeating things and different quotes that don't mean anything, So I've probably read the same article. But, what I've realized today, just by reading a few articles, so there's different sources that the same story would be coming from, for example. And it's just the way they do their headlines. So I'd be drawn in by the headline. But, okay, what are they saying here? I realize they're saying the exact same thing. And there's only one quote they're using, And then they branch off from that. So journalism is really a good game. A bit like the acting, like the Oscars thing. It was so funny. I was laughing. It's all staged. It's all staged, in my opinion. And that slap was like something out of Gone with the Wind. Scarlet, I don't know if anyone's seen Sidney Poitier. He done a slap in one of his films. Guy slapped him and he instantly slapped him back. That's what Chris Rock should have done.
Yeah, but it's the way he slapped him, and then he was like, whoa, and then it's almost like he was coming back. Chris Rock was coming back, but it wasn't in the script, so I better not hit him back.
There you go. It's scripted, very well scripted. But this, what's not scripted? This show. This is what I love about this show. It's not scripted, off the cuff. That's how we go.
And it's Monday night. Rebel, how you doing, sir?
Now this is a story all about I tell you what, United season feels like that. I'll be honest with you. But do you know that? Just to kind of finish up, I think that whole slap thing, that is the biggest load of bollocks since Liverpool were claiming every year until they finally done that they were going to win the league.
Oh, brilliant. Or you could knock it out, say it as well. It's like Arsenal fans constantly keep claiming that Vera is better than Keane.
Even bigger joke.
You know what I'm going to do from now on? Anytime I hear someone diss Maguire, my quote would be, keep Maguire's name effing out of this. Anyone in your comments, don't try me.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah, don't do it tonight. But guys, we're going to touch on this subject of last week was Ten Hag. This week is Poch, my guy. Apparently, rumor has it that he had an interview today. We don't know how well the interview went because we still haven't heard too much about it. We haven't heard too much about it at the moment. So, guys, Poch started his career back, obviously Argentinian international centre back. For those of you guys who don't really know about Poch, I always say great. I don't know, Monday, what do you think as well? I might as well ask you because you're a defender. I got sort of like brought into defense duty later on. They always say the best managers are normally defenders, aren't they? Or the greatest managers or the best managers is always players who wasn't good at football or defenders.
Well, Poch was a good player. I mean, I have to give him that. He played for PSG with Ronaldinho, with Okocha, and they had a good side. It's like 99. When we won the treble, he was playing for PSG. I remember that. And he also went to Italy, played for top clubs out there and in Spain as well. So good player, good international as well, well respected, and but not one of the big names. He wasn't like skillful or anything like that. He's just a good player, for club player and international player. And well, like I say, he come into the game and stepped up and really made a name for himself, mainly at Southampton, I believe. He had a season there and he sort of just kind of didn't transform them. Can I go into it now? Can I just?
Well, you can. Right. You know what? You go on Monday. You kickstart.
Right. Here's my issue, because look, obviously they say he had an interview today. So once we've interviewed now the two main guys that we're interested in, so a decision has to be made. And I don't know how the process is, but you can only sort of imagine how they would pick someone out of this. So I'm just looking at it, and I'm looking at the experience. So factors like experience, and when he was at Southampton, everyone raves about what he did. But we recently heard about Paul Mitchell bringing in players. And when I look at it, I've got here, it was in 2013 and 14, he was at Southampton, first season. They came 8th. And after that, Koeman took over. And Koeman's the guy who brought in the players like Tadic, Palais, Ryan Bertrand, Mane, Shane Long, and Fraser Foster. And all these players have proved to be good signings. Now, we're talking about Poch now. What did he do? He got them up to 8th. He brought in Lovren from Lyon for 8.5 million. And he brought in Wanyama from Celtic, who was 12 million. That was a good signing as well. But then he also brought in a guy. Do you remember this guy, Danny Avwado from Roma for £15 million? Danny Avwado. He lasted one season. So that was a complete flop. There you go. No one remembers him. And he was a striker as well. So you expect to know him. So and then he obviously has gone to Tottenham and done his thing there. But I think I still haven't been overly impressed with him. And when you compare it, it was Koeman in the end, who with that side, with Mane, with Virgil, he got them to 6th place in the Premiership. And that wasn't achieved by Poch. That was actually achieved by Koeman, who gets a raw deal now, sat by Barcelona, went to Everton, didn't really do well. But Koeman is a good coach and he's well respected as well. So I think when you really analyse Poch, there are a few question marks still to be unanswered by him. And when he's now, the question was, if he went to a big club with money, because they always said he worked on a budget. If he went to a big club with money, he'd be able to do something. He's at PSG now, and he hasn't done what met their targets, which is like go far and win the Champions League, even though he's on course to win the league. So there's a few question marks for me around Poch, and I think that should be considered when we're making the decision.
For me, though, I'll go next. Basically, for me, with the whole thing, I know you brought sort of PSG into it, but it's proved that any manager who goes to PSG are not successful. You look at Tuchel at Chelsea. He went there, wasn't successful because they wanted Champions League. They didn't get the Champions League what they wanted. A lot of people that go there, because Leonardo runs stuff, he picks the team. They're trying to fit Messi into this team with Neymar, Messi. And if you watch them or watch them closely and watch them play, it's almost like they play with like more defenders and defensive midfield more than sort of attacking, because Mbappe ain't going to run back, Neymar ain't going to run back, and Messi surely ain't going to run back. So I think he went to PSG knowing, don't get me wrong, he ain't going to pick the team because Tuchel was there before, the season before that, and he failed. But he went to Chelsea and then won the Champions League at Chelsea in his season. He went there and done it. So I don't think it's looking at it in that way. You can judge him by going to PSG. I think I look at him as judging him at Spurs, what he did at Tottenham Hotspurs. He kept Man United for nearly 4 seasons out of that top 4 running. But I think anyone would keep Man United out of that running for God knows how long, because we are not a team. We're individual players for the last few years. What he's done to Dele Alli, brought Dele Alli, made Dele Alli that sort of player. Then the whole thing with Song as well and Kane. Don't get me wrong, Song is okay, but it doesn't look as good as he did playing underneath like Poch. I don't know what Rebel or Mr. B coming with.
No, I think Son's stayed the same level. To be honest, I don't think he's changed. He's still assisting Kane. Kane's still assisting Son. They're still tearing people up on the counter attack. So I don't think he's changed. I think that the levels stayed the same. My issue with Poch, again, and this is the same thing that everybody's talking about, his failure at PSG. The fact that it's the games that they've been losing at PSG. You know, you expect they're going to win the league regardless, but it's how you win the league. You know, if you win the league with style and you're only losing a couple of games, fine. But they've lost a fair few games this season, and that's down to his management. You know, okay, if you Solo, you said a little bit earlier in your piece that Leonardo runs the team. Well, if that's the case, Poch shouldn't have gone.
The thing is, I know you said they lost a few games. They only lost 4 games this season.
They've only lost 4.
Yeah,
is that all they've lost?
That's all they lost. 4. Drawn
And
5, lost 4.
So they've drawn 5. So that's okay. Fair enough. I thought they'd lost more than that. Maybe it was the 9 that I had looked at that seen that both things together. But I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with what he does. Kane was always going to be Kane. Son was always going to be Son. Yeah, they got to the final, but they didn't win it. So it doesn't matter. We got to a final and didn't win ours. Nobody remembers second place, apart from the people who support the team when you get to another final and you're shitting your pants hoping that you don't fuck up again. You know what I mean? But Poch, I'm not feeling Poch. My thing with United at the moment, I feel they had 4. They had Lopetegui, who, let's be honest, we're not going to get him. The Enrique one, he spoke ages ago about him not wanting to take the job, and then he's got a World Cup coming up in December. So what does he do then? Do we keep the post open for him until he might decide to come in December? In which case, then what does Ranić stay until December? We don't buy any players again because we still don't know who the manager is, and we're going to be in the shit. So to me, Poch, I'm glad they interviewed him, but I think Man United are going to go for the cheapest option. I do. If Poch gets sacked, he's on a free. He costs no money.
Yeah,
that's what they're waiting for. That's what I think they're waiting for. You know, Ten Hag, his buyout is £6 million. Man, they've got that swiddling around in there. You know, they've got that money sitting around, so it's not an issue. You know, so to me, I think they're waiting to get the cheapest option. They're waiting for Poch to get sacked, so they just back Poch. Rebel.
I'm looking here just specifically at his Tottenham business, Pochettino's. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at these players that he's after signing and then kind of going, I'm not excited by 3/4 of this list. Yes, he got Heung-min Son in there, who turned out to be an absolute gem. And I think there's any fan in any club in the Premier League would say, yeah, I'll take Son tomorrow. But looking at the rest of them, we're looking at Harry Winks, Dele Alli, Eric Dyer.
Can I say something to you with Harry Winks here? Don't say. I swear, Bath Time likes him, doesn't he?
He's a fan of the Winks. Yeah,
Bath Time, he likes Winks. Yeah, he think Winks will do well at United.
Kieran Trippier, Ben Davis, like they're kind of average enough players in general that he's after signing at Tottenham. Serge Aurier, the man with the biggest attitude that I've ever seen from a right back, absolute head the ball. That is likely to get sent off more than actually be productive for his team. Like Musa Sissoko, Davinson Sanchez, and Ndombele, all players that if we went on to Paxton Road tonight and asked them, do they want these people? They would have said, hell the fuck no, we don't. And that's,
but I'll tell you one thing, if Poch got sacked and we didn't get Poch, I bet you they'll take him back at Tottenham, though.
Actually, just a quick one, because I have noticed. We have a viewer on Twitch.
Big up.
So, how do you do? And, you know, though, that kind of sums up how I feel about reading his transfer record at Tottenham. Throwing up crap at the wall, and eventually he got Son.
Make sure you hit on Twitch. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well on the YouTube channel as well. Show some support there as well. Yeah. So sorry, Rebel. Going back to those sort of like Poch and sort of formation and the system and how he likes to set up. It's almost like when you look at his system, it's almost like sometimes play like as a 4-4-2 formation. But what Poch does with his team, it's almost like flat back four. But when a player sort of with the wing backs, when they sort of go forward, as the forward go back, he like one of his midfielders then to slip in and slide into the defense as well, to basically just in case they get pressed as sort of like if they lose the ball. Also, what he does as well and what he likes as well with this sort of like 4-3-3, he sometimes like to do that whole thing, and I think he did it with Dele Alli quite often enough, and also Son quite often enough, where it's almost like he plays the number 10 quite sort of like with the number 9 up top as well. So for us at the moment at Man United, as much as I look at it and I think to myself, Ralph's come and he's done an okay job, not the greatest job, but he's an interim manager, and I can see improvement of what he's doing. But bringing sort of Poch in, I know you guys on the agenda right now, not one of you lot want Poch in apart from me.
You do, yeah, but you like Fred, so we take no notice of you, bro.
Like, you mentioned the wing backs, Solo. If you again, having watched a bit of Paxton Road, they are constantly berating the quality of their wing backs. They had no time for the guys that were brought in, so that then would make me question: okay, what type of wing back is Pochettino identifying, and why do they fail more often than not, other than when they're playing specifically for him?
Yeah, and going with Poch's record as well in the Premier League, 256 game, 130-1, 6-1 draws, 63 losses, goals scored 445, and goal conceded as well was 274 goals conceded.
Don't care. I don't want him.
Am I the only one here actually want Poch? Anyone in the comments want Poch at United? Please.
It doesn't look like it.
Please back
so
me.
It's just you, bruv. It's just, honestly, it's just you. I don't see what the fascination with Poch over Ten Hag would be. I don't see it.
For me, it's about him being in the Premier League. That's my worry.
But he's not a winner. He's not a winner, bruv. Don't you want? I want a manager who's a winner, who knows how to make teams win, who knows how to push the team over the line. We get Poch, he's going to be happy to settle for fourth. He's going to be happy to settle. No.
Look at the comments. Mark says no. Matthew says no. Patrick says no.
Thank you. Listen to Bassett. Look at Bassett's content. Listen, Ten Hag has built and rebuilt teams. Yeah, Pochettino can't build a sandcastle, blood. That's what I'm talking about. These are the quotes that I'm looking for. He has built and rebuilt teams. Let's be honest. Right now, Man United need a rebuild. You understand?
You know what? Yeah, I need some defense in here, man. I'm getting absolutely annihilated, man. But whoever the manager is, I'll back the manager anyway, because it's going to be a process. This is going to be a process, not going to be a short process. We as fans got to remember we've gone through some rough times at the moment, and what we need to do is whoever the manager, Ten Hag or Poch, we just got to back it, providing we can see improvement in the team and the squad.
See, look at this from Stoney. Good evening, Jeff.
He's a Liverpool fan. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. He's talking sense. Yes, definitely Poch to United. See, guaranteed no silverware for the next 10 years. So I'm saying, man.
At the moment, we got no silverware anyway. So
it's another 20. It's going to be another 10 years. So that's 20 years. No.
There you go, another one. I've seen this one floating around. You know,
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter. I've seen it flying around.
Solo. I don't know.
I've seen it
around the stuff in your head.
I'm not getting involved with that one. I'm involved with the Poch one. I'm getting annihilated, so I'll ignore that one. I'm not getting on that one yet.
Guys, I think, look, one thing I would say about Poch, he does seem to have a good reputation in football circles. And whether that's he's a friendly guy, whether he's, where they go on his coaching sessions together and they meet up and he seems like a nice guy, or maybe he's got some funny stories to tell about his career. I don't know. But that's the thing. People seem to like him within the football circles. What, as you struggle to explain, you try to identify like what the number 10 does with Eriksen, linking up, 4-4-2. And you couldn't really summarize too much. You were struggling there, Errol. But I think if you had with a different manager, you'll be able to sort of articulate what a person does.
Thank you. Because, thank you.
I was listening to you, Sharon, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, let's hear this. And there wasn't much. I scratched the surface and nothing was there when you really break it down, you know. So I don't think Poch has got much after all this time he's been in the Prem. I can't think you struggle to come up with a philosophy of play or say, oh yeah, I know Poch plays with good fullbacks, or he brings a guy forward, or even Harry Kane comes deep. He wasn't really doing that so much with Poch.
No, he wasn't. He doesn't. Harry Kane weren't coming deep at all on the Poch. He didn't come deep at all.
I think with Poch overall, he had a good support network. That's something that he carries with him. And I think some managers who do carry support network with them, their team, their guys, a bit like Brian Clough with what's his name? Brian Clough's main guy. White, wasn't it? Oh, someone in the comments who remind me. Who's Brian Clough's main guy? As soon as he went missing, they didn't really get anywhere, did they? He didn't really win anything after that. He won his European titles with this guy. His side man is second in command. After that, he didn't. So I think Poch has got a good team around him, and that's what helps him a lot. Because left on his own devices, I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Do you know on Monday, actually, you what Poch reminds me of is, do you know, if you were a boxer and you wanted to select a fighter that would take you the full set of rounds but wouldn't really hurt you? That for me is what Pochettino is.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I like that one. Rebel.
Would you mind on this comments in here for us, please? We've got a couple of newbies as well.
Well, there's plenty. I think there's a lot of discussion here about this. There's a few hellos from the beginning. I'm not going to go through them. But Niall's in the house. And he's saying to you guys, and I'm going to repeat this right now. If you haven't already, press the like button. He says smash it, but just press it. You don't want to break your machine. Next one, we've got Patrick in the house. How you doing, Patty? He says... In the Heat of the Night, that was the slap. Great film by Sidney Poitier. I think he got an Academy Awards
Oscar,
nomination.
or one of those versions for it, yeah.
So Matthew saying no to bottle, as in that's a good one. Play of words there. Matthew's also saying, I want to compete with Man City and Liverpool. We do, and we're getting further and further behind. So it's really important, this appointment. Matthew's also saying Pochettino is good at bottling everything. Once again, give us a subscribe and a like if you're not there already. All the way from Australia. I don't know what time it is. Probably morning right now. It's Mark Edmund. He says,
good morning.
Good day.
It's good day, not good morning.
He says, Poch is a poor man's Ollie. Mark Edmonds also saying Tuchel did better than Poch at PSG without Messi. Pat is saying spot on, Mr. B, absolute failure. Can't remember what you said, Mr. B, but you're getting a nod.
He was saying Poch. He was saying Ten Hag might not do the job properly.
Matthew Bassett is saying, as Monaco recently played body.
I watched that game.
Benzema destroyed him in 15 minutes. That was their really second half performance against Real Madrid. Was really poor, wasn't it? You expect to go through. And obviously, Boft is in the house all the way from what do you call it? Twitch.
From
Twitch. He throw a wall enough to get in the wall, and some will stick. Poch Spurs signing. That's a good. I like that analogy. I might steal that one. Mark Edmonds saying Poch is at best the top 4 manager. At best, the top 4 manager is still quite good, isn't it? He will win. He won't. Oh, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. Top, just about straight to top. Twitch. That means Baffy's saying Ten Hag has rebuilt teams. We discussed that. TalkMU's in the house. He said Poch will end up at Man City next season. So a sabbatical will be the next move after PSG. Lukuke,
long time no see.
Saying, I think PSG Poch is not Spurs Poch that we used to know. I prefer Ten Hag. Love his style of play. Wishing he could make the hot seat next season. You mean with the Quizmaster? Stoney's saying, good evening, gents. Can I just say big up to Stoney? Enough respect. Obviously, the brother of Mr. B. A Herbert 79 saying Graham Potter's the man. That caused a few frowns. And finally, Matthew Bassett saying Paul Mitchell's the one who built Spurs squad for Pochettino. The one summer when Spurs didn't spend any money, it was Paul Mitchell. Is when Paul Mitchell left the club. Okay, that's good wisdom there.
And there's the answer.
Peter Taylor. Thank you very much, Stoney. Thank you. So Peter Taylor was the main man. Without Brian Clough, together they won it with Derby, won a league with Derby. They went to Brighton, they come back. They took on a project with Nottingham Forest, and they won. Obviously, as you know, beat Liverpool for the title, won 2 European Cups in a row, and then Peter Taylor left, and Brian Clough didn't win the league again after that. Never won an FA Cup either. So Brian Clough, even though I rate him as one of the best managers of all time, he needed his support network, which was Peter Taylor, who could identify players for the system. Thank
Okay,
you,
guys.
Stoney.
13 in the chat, please hit that like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, guys. We are on the road to 1.5k subscribers. Without you guys, there wouldn't be a channel, and without you supporting us, we will not hit that 1.5k subscribers. So make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, guys. So guys, let's move on. Next subject we'll be talking about, one of our own we're going to be talking about. So contract talks, Rashi and Shaw. Obviously, last season we were saying how good Luke Shaw was. We call him the Brazilian of the Premier League, the best Brazilian. We had other people coming on our channel trying to say how, you know, other players were better than Luke Shaw. We were like, nah, don't be silly. Luke Shaw is the best. You know, again, he's gone away on international duty, same as Paul Pogba did, and also came out with it saying it was a relief sort of getting away from Manchester United to meet up with the England squad. Obviously, this is running sort of episode now. It seems like every single Man United player going on international duty has got something to say about Manchester United. So, so I'm reading the comments already.
So Phil Palms is saying, "Run Shaw out of town." Welcome, Phil. And
Welcome,
I don't want to run
Phil.
you out
Big
of
up.
town. Come to town. Come.
Welcome
to the
town.
channel.
Welcome, Phil. Welcome
Yeah.
to the channel. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate the comment. Thank you so much, Phil. So, last season, Luke Shorninho, the Brazilian, Roberto Luke Shorninho, last season going in. Going in last season, looking at Luke Shaw, under sort of Louis van Gaal, he didn't have the best of time under Louis van Gaal. Obviously, you then had Jose came in, and again, it weren't there. It's almost like Ole came in, put armed around him, and he basically looked very, very, very good last season. So he's been with us, nearly 5 seasons now. And in 5 seasons, we can probably say he had one very good season. And this season, I don't know whether or not it's... So I keep blaming, guys, you know what I keep doing? I keep blaming the World Cup with the British players. I keep saying, is it because...
What? I don't know.
I keep doing it. I don't know why I keep doing it.
I'm sorry.
Is it because we're not international duty?
Yeah,
and,
no,
you know,
it's the United players. It's the United players that came back. Rice has pushed on. Harry Kane had one little half blip, and then he's gone nuts again. Who else was in that squad? All right, Phillips is injured. Pickford, all right, it ain't his fault, but he still plays well for England. Bruv, all of the United players got their heads swelled up by us fans talking about Luke Bloody Shaw Flippinino, and he's done shag all this season. He's done nothing, and now we're talking about giving him a contract.
Can I actually say something really briefly? Because you mentioned about giving him a contract. I can understand why we gave Bruno Fernandes a contract in the absence of a permanent manager, but we haven't the Scooby-Doos at this point in time who's going to be sitting in the throne at Carrington making the decision next season. And there's people making executive decisions as to who gets a contract before somebody might say, I don't want Shaw, I don't want Rashi. And it's bugging the living daylights out of me that we are making these ad hoc decisions that we're putting carts before horses again. It's like we're determined to go around in the hamster wheel.
We're doing an Arsenal. We're gonna get our arse up. I'm telling you, because think about it. Just think about this, right? You know me and Rashford already. I love him to death, but let's be honest, he stank the place out. So for all of the seasons, for you to be expecting a new contract, this isn't the one. This isn't the one. Right now, you've got rumors of him going to fucking Arsenal. Don't wind me up, please, dear God. Don't wind me up. Don't wind me up. Herbert, I see you in the comments. You saw what I gave you. Bruv, don't let me drive to Bristol. Please, I beg you. Don't let me drive to Bristol. It would wind me the F up. So, my thing with these players and these contract negotiations is there's times when they're playing well. We've already done it with Bruno. I accept why they gave Bruno the contract and you've doubled his money. But if you're going to give Rashford, even if it's 5 pence more, he hasn't deserved the 5 pence more this season. Luke Shaw is being kept out of the team by Tellez on some of the games. His is a big drop off. Is Luke Shaw even good enough to be United left back? This is what
I'll
I'm
say
talking
yes.
about.
I'll say yes. He's only 26 years old. I'll still say
It doesn't.
time with
So
a good
what if
manager.
he's what's time, bruv? If they don't, I'm asking if you can't be 4 years of all right. He had a good start, got injured, granted, and then he had Jose. But if you reach a level, the level that he's dropped below what he is so far off. It's like last season was a fluke. And this is the part that I'm worried about. In the world, there must be 50,000 left backs. Luke Shaw can't be the only one that we can try and tie down. So if he's going to be looking for mega money, take the same money or make
He's
it
only on
performance based.
150k a week.
What do you mean that only he's a left back, bruv? How much do you think he should be getting paid? I'm sorry. How much do you think he should be getting paid? How much is Trent getting paid? Trent ain't getting paid 150 fucking grand.
I understand.
Yeah?
I understand.
This is what our club does. This is the problem with Man United. They were gonna go and play these all of this money, and when these players stink like Martial's been doing, and he's gone to Sevilla and he's still stinking out the place. He's still stinking out Sevilla. He's gonna come back. He's still on £240,000. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, when you start playing these players, all of this money, and they don't have the motivation to do it, Manchester United are going to be hacked.
I have to agree with Mr. B. To be honest with you, there's no justification for Shaw getting a contract on the basis of this season. Last season, you might have said if he was rewarded with a contract, you could say, okay, whether or not it would have worked out for us in hindsight, it probably wouldn't have, but you would have said, okay, there was a reason to give him an extra bump in wages and secure him for another year or two. But now, as Mr. B rightly pointed out, he's been kept out of the team by Tellez, and there's youngsters coming through that could adequately give us the bench position that we need until we identify a starting left back. And as you said, Mr. B, there cannot be a shortage of options where they've justified that they are credible assets to a team instead of giving Luke Shaw a contract where he might have a good season.
On Monday, I'm coming back for this one. I'm not letting this one go. On Monday.
Look, this news has come out. Let me just clear this so we can just refresh and remind ourselves what we're talking about here. Rashford and Shaw in contract talks. Now, like I said earlier in the show, I was looking at all the gossip columns today, and I saw this one. I thought, okay, why do they release this now? These guys aren't in good form. Why would they be offering him a contract? But I do think, like, we've got players leaving on a free, and we're seeing that this season. I mean, you can make a world-class 11 out of the players worldwide that are leaving on a free at the moment. Mbappe, throw them out there now. I mean, you guys know the names. Who else leaving on the free this year?
Pogba.
It's Kesse, Pogba. You know, there's so many good players who running down their contracts now, and because they know they can get a good signing on fee, it's probably better for them. So the clubs are losing out on money. Example being Pogba, we paid how much for him, and we let him go for free. We're not getting our money back. So I think these clubs have to start reassessing how they deal with these contracts, and maybe Rashford, while he's still valued at a little bit of money, don't let his contract run down while he's playing poor, so we don't lose him on the free. Possibly, I'm suggesting that maybe that might be a reason. I don't agree with it. I agree with you guys on the channel. I think all of you guys are correct here about the motivation here. These players need to be motivated and be professional as well, and not stop sulking. It's like Luke Shaw should be more like Martin Shaw, professional. Do you remember him?
I like that one day. Oh, you're slick. Oh, you're slick.
But he's not. This is the thing. He's not. So I think he's. When they say Bodie and Doyle, it's more like Bogey and Doyle. No, enough about this. I'm being stupid now. But what I'm saying is, I think there's got to be a new strategy so you stop losing players on the free, because you are losing money in that respect. And Rashford needs to sort himself out, get himself back on track. If he does leave, because I think he has reached a plateau, in my opinion. But with Shaw, I'm searching, I'm looking around. I know there's a question there earlier about what other left backs. I mean, Paddy was talking about a combination with Evra and Irwin. That'd be fantastic. But where are they? The best left back, I think, right now is the guy at PSG. Came from Sporting. He's on loan there. Forget his name now, but he's a brilliant young. He's only 18, 19. Why didn't we pick him up? But then we got players maybe coming through the youth academy. I just think we've got to prioritise where we need to get the players position-wise first. And we have to incorporate, as Rebel was saying earlier, the new manager needs to have a say in all this as well. I understand Bruno, that was just signed because he's got a couple of years left and whatever, and he's a top player. But
he had 3 years left. Bruno had 3 years left.
Maybe. But these two here, that's a big question mark for me. And I think whoever's consulting the new manager, they should be involved in this sort of negotiation, whether these guys are important enough.
Again, do you think it's sort of right? We're talking about Luke Shaw signing a new contract, and I honestly think he should get a new contract. And the reason why I think he should get a new contract is the simple fact is his age now. And I know we're going back and saying about his, 26 years old. On the social, I think certain players want an arm around him, and I think Luke Shaw is going to be one of those players where he wants an arm around him. I think Rashford's going to want sort of like a manager with an arm around him again.
I'm sick of this, man.
I know what you're saying, but the performance level have dropped off. Yes, I understand that, but I don't think you can't lose that quality and that class over sort of like half a season, can you? From what he produced last season, Rashford was fantastic for us last season. Really good for us last season. Had an injury, had COVID, had personal stuff going on. Contract runs out in 2023. Me being me, I'd give them all contract because I think in long term for us, it's cheaper probably doing the contract rather than going out and buying new players.
Yeah, it may well be that, but come on, man. This is the problem. Thank you. Let them earn the contract. Don't get me wrong. Rashford, since he's come, has been fire. But I can't accept the fact that the numbers he's putting out for whatever reason, that he deserves a new contract now. Is it the club? Is it the club protecting themselves like we did with Phil Jones, who we must have thought somebody was going to come in and buy? We did it with Bailly. We gave Bailly the extension to his contract. I'm thinking that was to protect ourselves. But Bailly's not playing. How much are we going to sell Bailly for? £3. It don't make no sense. If you're keeping these players, keep them to play. Don't keep them to keep their value high.
Yeah. Quick one. Anthony Herbert, if you ever send me a photograph like that again, I'm blocking you from everything. Do not send me a photograph with Rashford wearing an Arsenal kit. Yeah. Do not send me that. You're upsetting me now.
Just by way of context. Rafael Gerarmo, the Dortmund left back, his contract is also out in 2023. Marcos Alonso contract out in 2023. Alexandro contract out in 2023. There's a pile of left backs in a similar position to Shaw that arguably you probably put ahead of Shaw in the pecking order that would do a job for you for a season or two that are available in 2023. So I would not be in any rush unless he justified it to give him a new contract.
Can I say something though? I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because last year we were raving about Luke Shaw, and he was performing. So is he that far gone? I mean, the other day he scored a banger for England. He scored a banger for England the other day. And when you look at Ten Hag, for example, their Ajax side. If you compare their side to our side, guess who's playing left back for them? Danny Blind.
They're playing that wooden right.
Playing really well because he doesn't have to run so much. They're passing the ball around. The system's great, So Danny Blind's got better numbers than Luke Shaw this season. But I think with the right manager, I think Luke Shaw can be really effective as he was last season. We wouldn't have said a bad word about him last year.
But on Monday, we saying it here. Luke Shaw this season, so far this season, he had scored, I think, 3 goals he scored this so far. He had 3 assists, and he's been in 17. So basically, he created 17 chances this season for United to score goals. 17 chances.
And how much of them? So we've missed 14 of them, yeah?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So as much as on the eye test...
The assists weren't that very good then, were they? Put them on the plate and the player will finish. I'm winding you up, Solo. I'm on the wind up, bro. Don't say no.
Solo, though, what you have to say to Luke Shaw then and Marcus Rashford is, look, in December, we will look at doing a contract for you. We can have the bare bones of a structure put together, but you need to hit A, B, and C in terms of your output for the team.
Good. That's a really good
Okay.
shout there.
Okay, my Rebel, I would love that to be the case, but guess what? You see, if Rashford says that he don't want to stay at Man United, do you know how much clubs are going to be in for Marcus Rashford?
Loads.
He don't need to be put in A, B, and C. We shouldn't be giving him A, B's, and C's. He should know what he has to do himself. You understand? And this is the part that I'm talking. As I said already, I'm digging out Rashford, but Rashford's my guy. I love him to death, but right now, the club's bigger than any single player, and there's a lot of players at our club who don't deserve, right now, don't deserve a pay rise, don't deserve an extended contract, don't even deserve an apple crumble with their pudding after they've done training. Some of these players have been a disgrace this season, bro.
Yeah. And
Ronaldo would have given the apple crumble, that's for sure.
Maybe he needs to eat some apple crumble. That's the problem. They were namming apple crumble before Ronaldo come. He told them don't eat cake, and now none of them can't play because they're vexed. That's why they need that sugar rush.
No KFC, no apple crumble, nothing. All run out.
God, yeah, man, it's so frustrating.
So like Rashford as well. Looking at Rashford, obviously we know his brother is basically the partner of his managerial company, but his agent, his contract ran out as well in 2023. He's on a 200 and odd K a week as well.
Only.
I keep saying only. I know I keep saying only. Does he deserve his contract? I'm gonna say it's a hard one because for me, like I said, I know people who basically take their kids to training every day. They spend petrol. Their parents are running them back and forth and everything else. They make it professional. And you then sit there to yourself and say, sort of, they miss out on childhood as well. So for me, only 200. Yeah, it's only for me.
What childhood what childhood did they miss out on?
Well,
what, because they can't drink. What's normality? What, they don't drink. They can still have a drink. All right, it's not a lot of people take drugs, but they're not supposed to do that if they're a professional footballer anyway.
Yeah,
they're gonna get more gal playing football. So what's the issue? Tell me. They don't need to get paid 200 grand.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but for me, I would say I'd sign them both.
Hold on. So do you think, because the money is the motivation, do you think if we paid them more money, they'd be more motivated to play?
No,
no. You have to have that in yourself, bro.
You have to have the inability. They've got to want that drive and determination for it. Is it a case of?
We've seen recent times with Aubameyang, for example. He wanted a new contract, and then his form sort of dipped. It does seem to happen like that. So is money? Can we measure?
No,
money?
it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Money shouldn't be a motivation.
Well,
it should be about the shirt. For me,
how do you get the hunger out of a player? I think that comes from the coach. I think that comes
from the it's got 100% from the manager.
On with your players, that kind of thing, giving them targets. And I think for a player, you got to look up to someone and say, the most important thing is not the wage packet, is to come back in the change room after the game and the manager say, you played good. That's what all players should be seeking.
Again, and this is the thing.
Before we go any further,
big up Andy Herbert, but I'm cussing you though.
Yeah, Mr. Herbert, we appreciate that beautiful super chat, but bruv, you're on the wind up, man. I can feel it, and you know what? I don't want to go there. So, Mr. Herbert, appreciated, thank you. Me, OMONDI, Solo, and Rebel, and Talk. We'll see you outside Bristol City on Saturday, mate.
We're coming to get you.
You know, though, with these contracts, if we really want to be a successful, well-organized team, maybe we need to start looking at some of these players who are not really hitting the level that we need and say, right, okay, Mr. Rashford, here's 150k a week standard. You hit 10 goals. Boom, there's another pot of money. You hit 20 goals. Boom, there's another pot of money. You hit 15 assists. Boom, there's a pot of money. Make them work for their damn coin.
I don't think he wants to, though. That's the point. Rebel, do you think it's an ego thing? Sorry, do you think it's an ego thing with wages? As in, I'm getting paid, $230. I'm getting paid more than you. And that's why I'm saying I don't think the performance... I mean, Tottenham got away with it for a long, long time. with Harry Kane, they were paying him a little bit of money. They increased his thing. I don't think the players at Man United have that motive. This is my issue. I just don't think that the more established players, the players who expect, this is the problem, expect to be picked every week, even if they don't train well. You know, this is the part of it that I want them. I don't think they would have the motivation to take a lower contract weekly, because I don't think they give a shit whether or not they score the goals or not.
Yeah.
But you know,
Quick one, gone.
It is something though that a lot of top quality players have had in their contracts, because look at the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo over the years. If you said to him, you hit 25 goals a season, he'd have said that's money for jam.
But the problem is as well, and this is it. We're gonna go on. I'm gonna say this on Monday. Would you mind going through some comments, because we've got loads of new people in the house as well. We've got a few new people I haven't seen yet in the comments. But do you guys think Man United should get this same sort of mold as what Liverpool has, where it's playing on play bonuses, on performance bonuses? Because at the moment we're handing out people willy-nilly money.
Then they can't implement that now.
Yeah, but then also, Mr. B, you were saying earlier, obviously, about Arsenal and how Arsenal was. But I think Arsenal got it down now where they've cleared the wage structure. So that massive wage bill they had, they cleared it down completely. And what they have gone and done now, they've gone in and sort of, it's youth. Everything's youth now. So they all their contracts.
But you see what they did? You see what they did? The club backed the manager. Yeah. The manager said he wants to get rid of Uber, yeah? If they didn't even want them to get rid of Martial. Understand my point. He's been backed. Right now, Arteta's been backed. He can do whatever he wants. He can do what he wants. So for our manager, our club, if our manager comes in and says he wants to get rid of Rashford, the club have to let him get rid of Rashford. They have to back him. You understand?
What about if they said about getting rid of Maguire to Newcastle for 60 million or 50 on Monday?
Sell him. Take it now. Take the money now.
On Monday,
in the words of Will Smith, keep Maguire's mouth. So start with Patrick. Patrick says Luke Shaw, on the topic of Luke Shaw, no way. Way too substandard for his liking. And Patrick goes to games. Phil's saying he hasn't got what it takes to be
Phil, welcome to the channel.
Big up, Phil. Thank you. He's saying thank you, guys. Yeah, Phil. Nice, welcome to the family. TalkMU saying Ten Hag is nailed on, no doubt about it. TalkMU with one of his revelations again. He likes to predict things, Nostradamus. Mark Edmund says perspective. Luke Shaw had one good season. That's a very good comment there. He has actually had one very good season. That was last season. Patrick saying, watch Maguire and Shaw in the City match before Christmas. It was like watching Dumb and Dumber in real time. Oh dear. Matthew Bassett said Shaw needs to go. So it's unanimous here how people can turn it around. Last year, would they have said this? The same thing? If you want to win, this is another analogy from talking me. If you want to win a race full of minis, you buy a mini. If you want to win a race full of Ferraris, you know the rest. That's
there you go.
You get that one. That's one of the ones we get. Patrick says, give me another top standard left back with a mixture between Evra and Irwin.
Dennis Irwin, get in there.
Irwin can play both left and right. He's right-footed, isn't he?
Yep.
Boff said, even if we don't compare Shaw to United standards, he's still absolutely overshadowed by the left backs earning the same amount of money. Coming down now, I want to say hi to Ola, sorry. He says club hasn't lost any money in Pogba, even if he leaves on a free.
Shirt sales.
Eddie's in the house. Said not sure about Europa League and Capital One Club has really backed up the 90 million completely for Pogba. And here we go. I love Eddie, man. Eddie's so cool. Eddie says, yes, Mr. B. The team keeps players, but their value decreases when they get old and don't play. Do Glazers change that? Nope. Mark Edmonds saying Luke Shaw again had one good season. Guys, there's 19 people watching at the moment. Can we hit the like button, please? Do it now. Do it now while I'm going through the comments here. Talking to me saying Shaw Maguire were playing counter for both club and country, and now we're trying to play more expansive. He ain't got the minerals.
Quick one, I'm on there. This one here, man from free. Sorry, let's do that. Big up, welcome.
Man from there.
Sorry, sorry, free. Sorry, there.
Yeah, not free. There. He says big up, and we say big up, man from there, wherever there is,
and everywhere.
Yeah. you're
Actually,
here now. So
can I hit one there actually from Phil? He actually mentioned something that I was actually just thinking in my head. John O'Shea did more for the club, even as limited as he was, than Phil Shaw or than Luke Shaw has done, apart from last season.
Can I ask Andy Herbert to remember that lobbed against Arsenal by any chance? Just asking a friend.
Listen, don't be talking about goals scored, man, because there's too much man in the chat who are gonna bun us tonight, man. Don't be talking about goals. Don't do that.
Delboy Gunner, how you doing? He says if
up.
Rashford is not good enough for you guys, he shouldn't be good enough for us. That's Arsenal, obviously. Obviously got the money here from Andy Herbert just so he could say Rashford for Arsenal. He likes that one. We're being called now from there at Apple Crumble FC.
That's what we are.
Not very nice. Patrick saying he's also seen Luke Shaw close up at United. Dreadful positional play. Is dire and is part of the comedy back four. This is about, I mean, like we say, Patrick goes to the game, so he should know. Sorry for the whining. Hush up, please, if you don't mind. These dogs. Phil saying the players would feel like their human rights are impeded. How dare the club offend our precious players?
Do you see?
Eddie's saying on Monday these players could do with a Will Smith slap here, start playing ball. They need to. That's right. And Pat Loss is in the house as well.
Big up, Pat. Big up, Pat.
Back in Luke Shaw for one more season is the definition of insanity. Rashford has my heart broken. Oh dear.
See?
And finally, last one here. Anfield versus 10 United men who stood up. O'Shea is a legend. Yeah, good shout.
Yep, good shout. Good shout. Guys, thank you so much for all the comments. We're just going to come up with one and give us a 1 if you agree or a 2 if you don't agree with this in the comments as well. And it's going to go back to our Louis van Gaal. He's basically came out on an interview, I think it was either today or yesterday, and saying that Ten Hag or any other managers should not go to Man United because of we're more a commercial club rather than actually a footballing club. So I wanted to go around and ask the panel quickly. Has he got the rights to come up with sort of those sort of comments? Obviously, we know he was at Man United. Was he backed? He was another manager. I don't believe was backed whatsoever at the club. I know he wanted to go to Old Trafford, start cutting down trees and low sense of gravity and all of those crazy things he wanted to come out with. He was the reason why Van Persie left the club as well. So let's kickstart it, guys. Do you guys agree with his comments by any chance, or?
Well, I think you have to look at it from the perspective of he looking at United, joined as Manchester United manager a number of years ago. He got in the players to a large extent that he wanted, and within a season, I think, was it 90% of them were all shipped off as not being required by the next manager. So you have to question whether there's a bit of spite in there from Louis van Gaal, because we all remember the infamous plonking of the FA Cup on the newsroom table saying, look, here, I won this. And then he was shoehorned. I think it was within a couple of days of that, he was gone. So I think there's a bit of bad blood between Mr. Van Gaal and the Manchester United hierarchy. Justified, maybe, but whether or not he would have had what we needed to build on that FA Cup winning season is debatable.
Okay. And on Monday?
I respect Louis van Gaal. I've always thought he's a great coach, and he's outspoken as well. He speaks his mind. He says how it is. And you have to, if he's saying that, what he is saying, let's get the quote right. He's saying clearly, let me get this right, he's saying that Man United are a commercial club, so it's a difficult choice for a coach. Okay? So, and he's also saying Eric is a good coach. So it figures. He knows that we're a commercial club. Is that a lie? He's telling the truth. We are a commercial club. That is true. And he's saying to Eric, he better go for a football club. So there's a difference between a commercial club and a football club. He doesn't feel we're a football club. That's what we need to change. And I think if we are to encourage Eric to come to our club, we need to give him license to return it to a footballing club and leave the commercial side of thing out of it so it doesn't come into the picture, because I think there's too much of a merging between the commercial side and our football. Does the commercial side suddenly affect the way we play? I just think we need to get good coaching and return to our football philosophy that works for us and gets us up there back in the league. So I agree with Louis van Gaal. There's nothing. When you really break it down, he's right. and there's nothing too damning about it. He's just being honest about it, and I think that's what we need. It's like what Ibrahimovic says about Man United as well. And when you hear what he says, it might seem a bit harsh, but it's very true. Sometimes that we need a slap in the face.
I love it.
Slap in the face. Yeah.
Is what Pat just said about obviously best thing he did was call Chris Smalling, Michael Smalling. Brilliant in the interview, absolute brilliant. Okay,
here's a good point here from there. Every club is invested in commercial activity. That's a fact of the modern game of football. Not one of them is in there solely for football reasons.
Can we name what would you call when he's referring to a footballing club? Can you think of a club in the Premiership, for example? What you would say? Are they a footballing club where you don't have this issue about commercial stuff overshadowing what's going on?
You know what it is? I think I'll be honest. What I think it is. What I think it is we Man United want to be. You know that one that lights up Twitter and lights up Instagram and lights up Facebook. Instead of just doing the deal when it's supposed to be done, they want to get all of this noise out there. If they just made the deal, they will still get the noise. They'll probably get more noise because we as fans would be a lot happier that the deal was done.
On the stock market as well, that basically boosts the price up the minute the noise come out. So every news come out of Old Trafford is good news for the Glazers.
Bollocks.
But even look at Liverpool Football Club. Arguably, they have one of the best players in the world at the moment, Mo Salah, sitting on their books. They will not give him the money that he wants. So any club that says they're not commercially motivated is talking out their ass. Because if they weren't, they'd have given Mo Salah the contract that he wanted.
But it's a wage structure for Liverpool, though, isn't it? They don't want to break the wage structure.
Yeah, but he's the best. Listen, you see, and this is the problem. People talk about there's levels of player. You've got good players, you've got excellent players, and then you've got Salah. So right now, Salah's proved that he's top of that tree for the last 3 years. 4
I'm not
years.
giving him no credit, by the way.
No, that's fine. You know what? You don't have to give him no credit. But he has earned the right to be Liverpool's top earner. Regardless of who else is at that club, he has earned the right. Does he look like a man who's going to earn the 400 grand and then don't play no more? You understand? This is what I'm saying. If you earn the money, and he's been top scorer for. You look on Fantasy Football League. How much is Salah? Salah's the most expensive player in the game.
He's the first one I get every season.
Right. Why? Right. And then you don't take him out. Why don't you take him out? Because you know he's guaranteed goals. So in real life now, we're doing this on a game, bro. If you expect to be winning things, you keep Salah happy. You know what I mean? They're saying 500 grand. He don't want 500 grand. I can't see. You give him for 350 or 400, then he's cool. The issue is, can Liverpool afford to pay him that money? That's the problem with Man United.
With that question you're posing, it's about now. Liverpool have to decide: do they go and change their policy here to compensate a player, or do they focus on the footballing side of things and to redevelop and transform their team again, which they are in the process of doing?
What would you do? What would you do?
I would say, I would ask your brother, because I've heard your brother speak really wisely on this. And I've asked your brother, and I would say your brother said some really good things about the topic because they need him, but he's at the age now, like what Arsenal did under Wenger. He said, when you get over 30, I'll give you 1 year contracts after that. And there's a reason for that. So I think the club comes first. You got to have a strict policy. Players would know what it's about. And it's down to Salah now to say, right, do I really want to play for this club, or where am I going to get happiness elsewhere? He has to and I think Liverpool are a footballing club because when he talked to Xavi Alonso, he talked to players that have played there in the past. They still love the club because of the football, the passion, and things like that. So if you structure the club correctly and commercially and manage the players with their wage structure and everything else, and they still stay and they still perform, that's a good sign.
Yeah. But you're talking about one of the best players in the world now, and they are struggling to give him what he wants. If they let him go, I could imagine Liverpool fans burning Anfield to the ground in protest of that.
But hasn't he still got like 2 years left on his contract?
Sorry. Hold on. They actually wouldn't. They understand. They understand where they've been. They understand how the club's important, and they even say themselves, "Well, we're not going to break our wage structure." For example, if he has to go, he has to go.
He goes.
Can I say something to you? You see the thing with when you've got a club that's run properly, if you know you've got a player who wants to leave, or you sign somebody in the January window who hits the ground running. And what did they do? They signed the Diaz boy. This is what I'm saying. It's forward thinking. You understand? We don't have that. We don't have that at our club at the moment. We don't have that at that club at the moment. There's clubs out here who are properly run. You think it's coincidence that when they went out and bought that in January?
They've been scouting him. They've been scouting him for ages.
30 million pounds. These are the prices. You can buy players for 30 million pounds. Yeah. You can actually, but United want to spend the 50 and the 60 and the 70. Buy the 30 million pound players. Yeah. Turn them into
Jota as well. They did the same thing with Jota as well, didn't they?
It's a proper run club, bruv. As much as man don't want to hear it on this channel,
I don't want to hear it at all. Club. Anyway, we're talking about Liverpool too much.
So Louis van Gaal, in my opinion, he's right.
Yeah, I agree with Louis van Gaal. I honestly think he's right with what we're saying, because they care more about sort of what money they're taking out the club rather than what's investing in the club. And now where people are coming out saying, well, there's a leak here, there's a leak there, all of a sudden now they want to fix stuff. And apparently they're trying to rebuild the facility. When they redone Old Trafford a few years ago, it was like the best out there. It was like the best training facilities. And Man City came in with a bit of money.
15 years ago, more like.
Yeah. When Man City came out and then they done their thing, that was the next best thing. Now, the rumor is, I swear I heard someone said something like, apparently the money that Burnley are giving for their infrastructure now for the youth academy is even going to be better than Manchester United's.
But I would come back to the same point, though. There isn't a single owner of a Premier League club that is not in it for lining their pockets. The only difference is the people that they have.
Man City owners are not.
Well,
Abramovich wasn't.
But they got money, bro. They got their own money, bro. They're printing money. Sorry, I'll let you finish, Rebel. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, the people that they have put in place to make their football decisions, they are given their budgets, they're given their structures, they know what's coming into the club, they know what they're allowed to keep, and they are constantly basically balancing their books and making decisions accordingly. But the owners, bar obviously the honourable exception of the city owners who have more money than trees are in England, are in it to line their pockets. The Glazers are in it to line their pockets, the Cronkies are in it to line their pockets, FSG are in it to line their pockets, and nobody would convince me otherwise. Unless you're a sheik that has money coming out of an oil well, you're in it for money.
Cool. Armando, would you mind going through some of these comments, please? There's quite a few very interesting ones.
Louis van Gaal. Socrates is in the house. How you doing, Socrates? Nice to see you again. He says Louis van Gaal is right. Let's squeeze up here. So Patrick saying Van Gaal was at the end of his career, and I can see a bit of bitterness in his words. So there's a bit of balance there. Pat Lawless is saying the best thing Louis van Gaal did was calling Chris Smalling Mike Smalling in the press conference, and it wasn't intentional. Niall is in the house. He's saying, brilliant, guys. Make sure you press the like button again. Thank you so much, Niall. We've got 23 watching at the moment. Guys, press the like button for us, please, and we will continue. Man from there says every club is commercial, though. We discussed that earlier. Phil saying the club dissed Louis van Gaal hard. He won the FA Cup and they sacked him. I think it's because he came 6th in the league or 5th.
No, he won the FA Cup, didn't he? He won the FA Cup and got sacked.
Yeah, but they didn't want the FA Cup.
Where do we come in the league that season? There,
I think we came about 6th or 7th in the league.
Okay.
But no.
But you guys, when we've done reviews, you've all said that it was boring football, slow kind of football.
Side to side, really, wasn't it?
Okay, so Phil's saying the revenue that Salah earned for Liverpool internationally is ridiculous. Pay Mo what he was worth or give him a portion of image rights. That's what you were saying a lot, Errol, don't you? Say Liverpool play performance-related pay or other things to boost up. Boff says clubs don't have the luxury of top-class academy, are better at replacing first-team players than we are. Okay, that's a good shout, actually. Patrick saying, absolutely, Mr. B, no one is thinking outside the box on strategy. Ollie saying, no commercial club is run. No commercial club is run to please sponsors, share prices, and social media interactions. Phil's saying Liverpool structured. FSG said they wanted to awake a sleeping giant. Sure enough, they did, whilst we fell fall into slumber. Oh, it's depressing. Boss says Man City owners have ulterior motives. The land value around the surrounding area of City Group. Football clubs have, for one, has grown an incredible amount, for example. Also, sports washing. And finally, Socrates is saying, I do not understand Rebel's point. Are you saying that LVG is wrong? Do you want to just clarify that, please?
I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm saying it's very easy for him to be right, considering that 90% of Premier League owners and the clubs are motivated by the commercial aspect and how much money they can take out of the club.
You know what?
Finally, just want to say hi to Bath Time, everyone. How you doing, Bath Time?
On,
You're late.
It's all right. It's gone. It's gone. You know me already. If it doesn't come
Guys,
straight out, it disappears out my head.
23 in the chat, guys, and we only got 22 likes, so hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit the subscribe. We're on the road to 1,500 subscribers, so without you guys we can make it. With you guys we can make it. Without you guys we ain't gonna make it.
Phil's asking how often are we streaming. I like the show. I'll be back. Can we just, before we go, we give you the menu for the week?
Yes.
Shows,
yeah, we've got a menu. We've got a decent menu for this week as well, because
it's delicious.
We're back. We're back every day.
And there's no crumble on our menu.
There's no crumble. Yeah, no crumble.
There might be a few slaps though.
yeah, just a few slaps. 21 in the chat, guys. Hit the like. And remember to share it with your friends as well. Find us on social media. We're on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter at the moment, we are on Twitter as the Man United Agenda, and you can find all our beautiful faces on it as well. Yeah, so guys,
you know what? I think we had two really good talking points, and we've really rinsed them out. Just to clarify now, at the end of it, I've been thinking, I've kind of like, Luke Shaw has been given a raw deal. I think he deserves not say a contract, but he deserves a look at, because he had one bad season. He had a good season last year. I think based on a good season, I would still give him an opportunity.
You think he's had one bad season?
Sorry,
you think Luke Shaw's had one bad season? He's had one
good season last season, which was very good. Played well in the Euro, scored in the Euro, scored the other day for England as well. I still think there's a player there, and I just think it's all about the manager coming in. Can they get the best out of the players? Because I think his coach is important. And as for the first one, Poch was interviewed. I still think he's not the man for us. So that's just, I'm done now. After all this hour of chat, I do believe that it's still Eric. No one's convinced me. Sorry, Eric.
My final point, actually, just to sum up on the Luke Shaw.
Everyone have their final points. Come on, you guys want to come on, get your final points. What's your final thoughts, Rebel?
Now's not the time to be opening contract discussions with them. Get the new manager in. Have him then make an assessment of the squad. Let him decide who he wants to keep, who he wants to push on, because they could still be sold in the summer for a relatively decent amount of money if he doesn't need them. But now is not the time for anybody other than who's absolutely nailed on to be even in discussions about their contract. Bruno, I get. Shaw and Rashford after the manager's appointment is the only time that makes sense.
Brilliant. Right, on Monday, I'm going to do this, and you just need to read from this bit here because a few people join us late. So we've got this one here.
So a man from there says, I think Luke Shaw just lacks intelligence. That's something
that's part of your words as well, isn't it?
And Big Gob, Bob, struggle. BGB says, apparently 75% of the players want Poch, the flop. That's Poch, the flop. Sorry, always do this, don't you? Firstly, who do they think they are? Secondly, what are they smoking? I think Mr. B can answer that. Half-time with Vaughan says he loves a Nuki Brown. Is that a drink? And Jordan?
Yeah, Nuki Brown. Yes, that's Nuki Brown. They lit it. Yeah.
I'll ask Mr. B then. Ask Mr. B.
Everyone is asking Mr. B, innit?
And when it comes to Phil now, it says Luke Shaw needs Marino brain to help him play. So there's a player there, we agree. And Ole saying that's true. American owners are in it for money. Liverpool going to win a league, European Cup, FA Cup. Oh God, here we go.
Anyway,
and he says, lads, I would like to come on before we play each other. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course
you have to ask Mr. B. As long
Mr. Herbert. Mr. Herbert, go fuck yourself.
Patrick, summarising now, saying, agree, Rebel, but I want to see the ruthlessness with this squad. And last one from Pat Lawless. He says, unless Rashford or Shaw prove their worth, no contract, no way.
Oh, wow. Guys, listen, from us at the Man United Agenda, it's been absolute. We went well over the time limit we said we were going to go today. But it's because of all the comments we've had in. And the last one is... Go on.
So if United are the biggest joke in world football, then Maguire is the punchline of the running joke. That wasn't even funny to start with. Oh, gosh.
Guys, listen. Guys, there's loads of you guys tonight in the chat as well. Just get involved. Just come over to the YouTube link afterwards and we can continue the conversation in there as well, guys. So just make sure you know we are on it. We do have our community posts. I do post up at least 2 posts per day on that as well. And look at it, lastminute.com.
That's disgusting.
Lukey Brown is great, he says.
It tastes like...
Is that like a brown ale?
Ooh,
yeah,
it's horrible.
Some people, eh? Big up with that name. I love that name. So guys, this week we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 8:30. We're here 8:30 most nights. We'll be here tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on Thursday night, I believe we should be doing the preview show on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, preview show for the Leicester game.
Twitter handler, if you go
Football
and find. It's the Man United Agenda, so it's let's get it up. So I'll give it the right information on the Twitter. Rebel, you there with it? You're quite quick with stuff like that. Let's go Twitter.
It's the Man United Agenda, for God's sake, Rebel.
It's
what are you looking for?
It's THE at THEMUA. It's MU Agenda, yeah. That's what.
Oh, right, okay.
MUA Agenda. So it's MUA.
MU Agenda. MU Agenda, not MUA Agenda.
So it's the MU Agenda.
Yeah.
And we want a bald manager. So we do. We want the bald manager.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. I heard him cutting his hair today as well. Oh, brilliant. Well, bath time, you can't have half of that, mate. It's like split in the middle, isn't it? So it's all right. Quick one, though. Good one. Guys, from us at the United Agenda, we will be back tomorrow. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. As always, have a beautiful evening. Good night.
Stay
and
classy.
Thanks for watching. Remember, set your reminder as well, guys. Set the reminder, notification bell, hit the like, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button as well.